Many of you have likely seen Grubhub's new ad titled Delivery Dance, posted to Grubhub's official YouTube channel on November 16, 2020. As of right now, the video has approximately 3,343,501 views. In recent days, the video has garnered widespread attention due to the lackluster animation associated with it. However, in the next hour I will be explaining the hidden genius behind Delivery Dance, a video essay. Part 1. The video. The video begins with a man in a multi-shaded purple outfit walks in from the left side of the screen against an orange retrofuturistic backdrop in the kitchen. His son/daughter is sitting to his right, eyes wide open, looking at him to the top left of the screen. The man on the left has a neutral face and slightly oblong ears, and he garners a reverse Charlie Chaplin stash and a goatee. His left hand is hanging to his side, almost at the level of his light green teal shorts, and in his right hand is a rectangular electronic device later revealed to be a phone. Moving ahead, we can see a bowl of fruit behind him, illuminated by a yellow lamp. His face becomes happy as he looks down at his mechanical device, and his left hand rises up to touch it. His eyes and his son/daughter's both look at the mechanical device. The camera switches angles, going to his now revealed phone. In the background, with a blurry haze, you can see part of the refrigerator, a clock, a cutting board, an orange toaster, and yet another retrofuturistic faucet. Turning our attention to his phone, we see in the top, in red, Grubhub, in all capital letters. Below this, we see a realistic photo-like image of a piece of fried chicken wedged between two buns with lettuce on top and sauce. Below the chicken, we see the words family perk. His left hand rises up to touch the chicken. As he touches the picture of the fried chicken sandwich, 3 diamond-shaped objects spring out of the top, with little hints of yellow glitter. The background of his phone and kitchen turns a deep, menacing red. The camera quickly and abruptly switches angles as a representation of this man's descent into madness. The camera quickly zooms in on his face, and is known in the industry as a crash zoom. Yet another way in which the Grubhub marketing team appeals to the wider film audience. The man in 2 shades of purple cracks a scraggly smile, his right eyebrow lifting up as to insinuate something, anything. His deep brown locks contrast against the dark red, menacing background. In this next frame, he opens his mouth, revealing his dark red gums. This is symbolic of both tooth decay and the decaying of his soul. He lifts the chicken sandwich, grasping it with 4 fingers, leaving his right pinky above it, as if he is more dignified than the rest of us. This is a clear sign that this man is a sociopathic narcissist who believes that he is better than you, he is better than me, that he is better than all of us in his tiny little mind. He takes a large bite out of the sandwich, much like how the doctors took a bite out of his frontal lobe. As he takes a bite of the sandwich, both his eyes open wide and look directly into the camera. The camera backs into a wide shot, showing his sandals, his thigh-high socks, his blue teal shorts, and his multicolored purple shirt. In his left hand, he holds a white bag with the word Grubhub on it, and in his right, he holds a mangled, rotting corpse of what is left of his chicken sandwich. As we can see, a bite has been taken out of it. His mouth puckers as his hips sway from side to side. The camera angle changes yet again to focus on his thigh highs and his sandals. He clicks his feet together as if he were Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, wishing so dearly that he could just go home and leave this place. He doesn't want to be here. He wasn't told to be here, and yet he is. We get to see a closer look of his torso as his hips sway from side to side yet again. We can see the two shades of purple contrasting each other yet also complementing. His shirt pockets are like yin and yang, the evil inside of the good and the good within the evil. His teal shorts representing our entire moral compass, as the good and evil try and sway us in either direction. This is very deep and brilliant stuff by the Grubhub marketing team. The camera pans away from him, showing him slowly turn around as two new characters enter the scene, focusing on the man in purple shirt. However, we see that he is spinning around and around. This perhaps represents his eternal struggle with himself and the yin to his yang. Looking at these two new characters, we see a man on the left with a goatee and a cell phone in his left hand with the letters GH on it in white against another red background. And in his right hand, he is holding two chopsticks, and in between those chopsticks is a sushi roll. This sushi roll is comprised of one layer of seaweed with white rice and what can be presumed to be cucumbers on the inside, with an extra helping of salmon. Yes, that's right, salmon. Now, thinking back to Celtic mythology, we know that the salmon is an important creature in several strands of Celtic mythology and poetry, which often associated them with wisdom and venerability. However, in Irish folklore, fishermen associated these salmon with fairies and thought it was unlucky to refer to them by name. Yet another example is in Irish mythology, a creature called the Salmon of Knowledge plays a key role in the boyhood deeds of Fionn. In this tale, the salmon will grant powers of knowledge to whoever eats it and is sought by poet Finn Esses for 7 years. Finally, Finn Esses catches the fish and gives it to his young pupil, Fionn Mac Cumhail, to prepare it for him. However, Fionn burns his thumb on the salmon's juices, and he instinctively puts it in his mouth. In so doing, he inadvertently gains the salmon's wisdom. Elsewhere in Irish mythology, The salmon is also one of the incarnations of both Tuan Mak Kairil and Fintan Mak Bokra. Salmon is also a feature in Welsh mythology. In the prose tale Culhwch and Olwen, the salmon of Llyn is the oldest animal in Britain, and the only creature who knows the location of Mabon ap Modron after speaking to a string of other ancient animals who do not know his whereabouts. King Arthur's men Kai and Bedwyr are led to the salmon of Llyn, who let them ride its back to the walls of Mabon's prison in Gloucester. In Norse mythology, after Loki tricked the blind god Huar into killing his brother Balder, Loki jumped into a river and transformed himself into a salmon to escape punishment from the other gods. When they held out a net to trap him, he attempted to leap over it, but he was caught by Thor, who grabbed him by the tail with his hand, and this is why the salmon's tail is tapered. Salmon are central, spiritually and culturally, to Native American mythology on the Pacific coast, from the Haida and Coast Salish peoples to the Nuka-Nuth people in British Columbia. What does this have to do with the Grubhub ad? Moving on to the woman on the right. She is wearing yet another teal piece of clothing in the form of a hoodie, and she also has a pair of chopsticks with the same roll of sushi, yet in her left hand. These discrepancies between the man's right hand and the woman's left hand is yet another example of how Norse mythology fits into this large and intricate tale that we call delivery dance. Both the man and the woman sway their heads from side to side with a smug look on each of their faces. A recurring theme in this commercial is the characters thinking that they're better than you, that they're more important than you. That is simply not true, but I can't help but be in awe of the animators for giving these characters such expressiveness, such emotion. The camera abruptly turns away from the man in 2 shades of purple to focus on just these 2 characters for a solitary moment. The man drops the piece of sushi down his throat and swallows it whole, as if he were a seagull. The woman to his right does the same. The camera again moves away from these people, each with sushi in their hand yet again, and the man in his left hand holding a white paper bag with the word Grubhub on it. Their outfits remain the same, yet there is a new character in the foreground. A woman with blonde bangs and a Caesar salad in her left hand and a fork in her right holding one leaf of this salad. To give some context to the meaning behind this Caesar salad placement in this Grubhub ad, we need to look back in history. Julius Caesar was a Roman general and statesman who played a critical role in the events that led to the demise of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. Tying this back with the Caesar salad, we know that in 60 BC, Caesar, Crassus, and Pompey formed the first triumvirate, a political alliance that dominated Roman politics for several years. Their attempts to amass power as populares were opposed by the Optimates, with the Roman Senate, among them Cato the Younger, with the frequent support of Cicero. Caesar rose to become one of the most powerful politicians in the Roman Republic through a string of military victories in the Gallic Wars, completed by 51 BC, which greatly extended Roman territory. During this time, he both invaded Britain and built a bridge across the Rhine River. These military successes by Caesar play great importance into the meaning of this woman and her lunch of choice. We see parallels between Julius Caesar and this woman with blonde hair. Her right arm crashes down to the center of the screen as if she herself were repressing the British. And the two people behind her represent the senators about to stab Julius Caesar in the back, their flailing arm movements hinting to this fact. In a recurring theme of this commercial, the main characters are swapped to the background, and the new main character is given their own position. This woman is shown with her mouth wide open, ready to accept the Caesar salad she has placed in her right hand. Grasped by her index and thumb, she holds onto the fork, preparing to lift the Caesar salad into her mouth. She takes a bite of the Caesar salad, and although it was only but 1 or 2 pieces, she appears happy, even though that little salad would never suffice for even a single bite. The background changes to blue, and a new woman appears wearing all teal clothing. The significance of blue cannot be underestimated here. For blue, the color of sky, appears in many religious traditions as a symbol of heaven, sky gods, eternity, and spiritual life. Blue is the coolest, most detached, and least material of all the hues, which makes its appearance in this ad all that more impactful. Here we see this woman kicking out her left shoe, followed by a semi-split maneuver as she bends both her legs in directions which one might not think they can go, and yet tying back to the religious factor of blue, we can see how God has bestowed upon her these incredibly flexible limbs, and she, although I cannot make any assumptions, appears to be a pregnant woman. This child that she bears is likely, perhaps, the next baby Jesus. The camera twirls around her head, and the background, changing from a dark blue color, goes to a more brighter teal color. Her teal eyes focus on the straw, and her chapped lips drink the milkshake, which can be assumed to be a vanilla with chocolate swirls. As she drinks the milkshake, her eyes close and then focus in on the camera, looking into our soul. And we can see a better look at the straw, revealing that it is a metal straw, which hints to this commercial being taken in California. However, one might ask, how did they get these animated characters in California? The truth is, this is all entirely live action. As we know, California has a very large industry in plastic surgery, which leads us to the conclusion that these aren't in fact animated characters, yet real people. So all the proponents to this commercial saying, oh, this commercial is so bad because the animation is terrible. It's like the Minions. Well, the Minions don't exist, but this does. This is on TV. This is right next to the news. This is everywhere. You cannot argue with facts and logic when it presents itself to you. You must think, how did they get those small little details as you can see in the bubbles in her milkshake? How did they get such intricate fabric to be rendered in such a computer? They didn't. They took a photo with a camera in video format. That is how this was all achieved. Moving on, we return to all of the characters joined up in one single dance montage. In the background, we see that same shade of red apparent in the purple man's screen in the beginning, and we can see the diamonds scattered throughout. Moving from left to right, we see the woman with the blonde hair in her right hand holding a white paper bag with the word Grubhub on it. The man to the left of her, our right, is holding chopsticks with yet another sushi. And moving on to the right, we see that woman from before carrying baby Jesus with a milkshake in her left hand, apparently undrinking. We see the infamous purple man licking his lips to the right of her, looking down with his thigh highs still on his legs. And to the right, we see the woman smiling with yet another chopsticks in her left hand. The way that they move is unique, bending their legs, moving slightly to the left or right, and moving up once again, repeating but in the opposite direction. It truly is mesmerizing once you've seen it for 5 hours, staring at this single 3-second clip, analyzing all of the details of this image. For example, the purple man hasn't taken another bite of his fried chicken sandwich, yet in this whole 12 seconds that he's had it, he has not taken a single other bite, rendering the sandwich likely cold and utterly useless once it has been delivered by Grubhub. We zoom in on the purple man, his fried chicken sandwich in his right hand, still that large bite taken out of it, his eyes closed, looking up in the sky, ready to believe in God. He is in a state of pure ecstasy as he eats and savors his chicken sandwich, the diamonds in the background cheering him on, being the light in his life, and his left hand raising up to the sky to accept the Lord Jesus into his soul. He sways his body side to side, the diamonds going over him as if a projection in a planetarium. For he is the galaxy, he is the planets, he is the presentation that we have been waiting for. Acting out of pure joy, he lets out a mild ooh as he dances. He does not wish to give up this moment in this paradise he calls home, not his real home, not the retrofuturistic kitchen. This real home, with Grubhub, with his chicken sandwich, with the diamonds going over him, and where he has not a single care in the world, where nobody judges him for what he looks like, where nobody judges him for his 2 shirt pockets, which serve pretty much no purpose whatsoever, because if you already had 1 shirt pocket, what would you need the other for? Reality is restored as the purple man comes back to the reality, albeit a much worse one after that which he has already experienced. Nothing has changed, really. The fruit is still there in the bowl to the left of him. The light is still shining. The purple refrigerator is there to his right. The orange toaster lies there behind him, along with the retro-futuristic faucet that lies waiting to be turned on. He sings and dances in this reality, not realizing yet that he has left that paradise which he has come accustomed to. He does some more dances before he realizes he is in the real world, but he must keep a calm composure in front of his son or daughter, and he points at them. He points. What does this mean? Is he pointing outwards at them, or is he really pointing inwards at himself? The child, confused by his father's actions, proceeds to open his mouth in a state of confusion. The two other fried chicken sandwiches lie on the table next to him, with a white paper bag with the word Grubhub on it. Who could these two other chicken sandwiches be for, you might ask? Is the purple man really that hungry? Or does he eat to fill a void inside of him? Is the child going to eat 3 chicken sandwiches? Or does he feel that he must eat these 3 chicken sandwiches? Does his father make him eat these 3 chicken sandwiches? The world may never know. Or quite possibly, there is another character at play in this whole grand scheme of delivery dance. Perhaps this child has another parent. Yet that still leaves the question. Where is the 4th chicken sandwich? Who ordered that 4th chicken sandwich? I don't think Purple Guy could eat 2 chicken sandwiches, no. That one fried chicken sandwich looked hearty enough. However, the child is too small, in my opinion, to eat 2 chicken sandwiches, let alone even one full one. This is why I believe he is leaving that chicken sandwich as a sacrifice. He's using that chicken sandwich to show others his luckiness. He wants to show others that he has a source of food, but does not want to eat it. His narcissism is exemplified in this, letting perfectly good food go to waste just for the sake of popularity. Moving on, we see a close-up of the child and the 3 chicken sandwiches. That one chicken sandwich he has in his hand, though, is much smaller than the others, which suggests he might have got a kid-sized. Yet, why would he get a kid-sized if he could just have half of one of the larger chicken sandwiches and save a couple dollars? If you're gonna buy another chicken sandwich, why not make the most of it? The child blinks his eyes with the sound of a xylophone and looks into his camera with the brown hues of his eyes looking straight into your soul. His left eyebrow raises ever so subtly, implying something. Perhaps that which his father made in the very beginning of this ad. The setting switches. We see the words Grubhub, grub what you love. Download on the App Store, get it on Google Play. The child jumps in from the left side of the screen, nearly breaking both his legs as he finds himself in this strange new world. This place that his father once was, he is now. He no longer is confused as to why his dad danced, but is wondering why himself is not dancing. So he proceeds to break down or boogie. Once again, we can see this psychopathic narcissism has passed to his child. He holds his sandwich with only 4 fingers, his thumb, index, middle, and ring finger, leaving his pinky wayward. He is but an extension of his father. He is no different from him, yet also entirely the same. His experience in this new world of ecstasy fills him with curiosity that he must dance. Dance because his father tells him to? No, because he is compelled to by this new world. Devoid of the diamonds which his father was granted, he doesn't see anything here except Grubhub, grub what you love. Part 2. The music. This ad features predominantly one singular piece of music, Soy Yo by Bomba Estero. Allow me to read you the lyrics. Me caí, me paré. Caminé, me subí, me fui contra la corriente y también me perdí. Fracasé, me encontré, lo viví y aprendí. Cuando te pegas fuerte, más profundo es el beat. I don't know. Sí, sigo bailando y escribiendo mis letras. Sigo cantando con la puerta abierta, atravesando por todas estas tierras, y no hay que viajar tanto para encontrar la respuesta. Y no te preocupes si no te aprueban. Cuando te critiquen, tú solo di: soy yo. Soy yo. Soy yo. Soy yo. Yo. Sigo caminando, sigo riendo. Hago lo que quiero. Muero en el intento. A nadie le importa lo que estoy haciendo. Lo único que importa es lo que está por dentro. Hey, a mí me gusta estar en la arena, bañarme en el mar sin razón, sin problema, estar sentada sin hacer nada, mirando de lejos y estar relajada. Y no te preocupes si no te aprueban. Cuando te critiquen, tú solo di: soy yo, soy yo, soy yo, soy yo, yo. Soy así, soy así, soy así. Relaja. Y tú ni me conoces a mí. Bien, relaja. Soy así, soy así, soy así. Ja. Relaja. Y tú ni me conoces a mí. Relaja. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Relaja. Bien, relaja. Relaja. Bien, relaja. Sí, papá. Y no te preocupes si no te aprueban. Cuando te critiquen, tú solo di: soy yo. Soy yo. Soy yo. Soy yo. Yo, en la cama, relajada, con mi cuerpo, con pijama, sueño. Así soy yo. That was the Spanish translation. Allow me to read the English translation now. I fell, I stopped. I walked, I got up. I went against the current, and I also got lost. I failed, I found myself, I lived it, and I learned from it. The harder you hit yourself, the deeper is the beat. Yes. I keep dancing and writing my lyrics. I keep singing with the doors open, crossing these lands, and you don't have to travel so much to find the answer. And don't worry if you're not approved. When they criticize you, just say, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me, me. I keep walking and I keep laughing. I do what I want or die in the attempt. Nobody cares what I'm doing. The only thing that matters is what's inside. Hey, I like being in the sand. What does that mean? To bathe in the sea for no reason, no problem. Sitting around doing nothing, looking away and being relaxed. And don't worry if you're not approved. When they criticize you, you just say, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me, me. I'm like this. I'm like this. I'm like this, relaxed. And you don't even know me, so relaxed. I'm like this. I'm like this. I'm like this, ha, relaxed. And you don't even know me, so relaxed. You know what I mean, you know what I mean. Relax to relax, relax to relax. Yes, okay. Yes, Father. And don't worry if you're not approved. When they criticize you, you just say, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me, me. Me in bed relaxed with my body in pajamas, it's me. Like this, it's me. The use of the Spanish language in the song is an interesting choice for the Grubhub marketing team because most commercials I hear are in English and the narration is in English. However, Spanish or Castilian is a Romance language that originated in the Iberian Peninsula of Europe. Today, it is a global language with nearly 500 million native speakers, mainly in Spain and the Americas. It is the world's second most spoken native language after Mandarin Chinese and the world's fourth most spoken language after English, Mandarin Chinese, and Hindi. This adequately explains Grubhub's marketing decision in using the Spanish song. One instrument commonly heard throughout this piece is the recorder, as we can hear playing the melody while all of the animated characters are dancing. The recorder is a family of woodwind musical instruments in the group known as internal duct flutes, flutes with a whistle mouthpiece also known as fipe flutes. A recorder can be distinguished from other duct flutes by the presence of a thumb hole for the upper hand and 7 finger holes, 3 for the upper hand and 4 for the lower. It is the most prominent duct flute in the Western classical tradition. Recorders are made in different sizes with names and compasses roughly corresponding to different vocal ranges. The sizes most commonly in use today are the soprano, aka descendant lowest note C5, alto, aka treble, lowest note F4, tenor, lowest note C4, and bass, lowest note F3. Recorders are traditionally constructed from wood and ivory, while most recorders made in recent years are constructed from molded plastic. The recorder's internal and external proportions vary, but the bore is generally reverse conical, i.e. tapering towards the foot, to cylindrical, and all recorder fingering systems make extensive use of forked fingerings. The recorder is first documented in Europe in the Middle Ages, and continued to enjoy wide popularity in the Renaissance and Baroque periods, but was little used during the Classical and Romantic periods. It was revived in 20th century Europe, and, as I might add in an anecdote, this song right here as a part of the historically informed performance movement and became a popular amateur and educational instrument as well as professional, which can be seen here. Once again, composers who have written for the recorder include Monteverdi, Lully, Purcell, Handel, Vivaldi, Telemann, Johann Sebastian Bach, Paul Hindemith, Benjamin Avopart. Today, there are many professional recorder players who demonstrate the instrument's full solo range and large community of amateurs. That's not right. No, that's not right. Okay, just ignore that. The sound of the recorder is often described as clear and sweet, and has historically been associated with birds and shepherds. It is notable for its quick response and its corresponding ability to produce a wide variety of articulations. This ability, coupled with its open finger holes, allow it to produce a wide variety of tone colors and special effects. Acoustically, its tone is relatively pure, and when the edge is positioned in the center of the air jet, odd harmonics predominate in its sound. The use of the recorder was an excellent decision by the Grubhub marketing team, because since it is associated with birds and shepherds, and the chicken is a bird, whenever we hear the recorder, we think of fried chicken, and therefore, at every elementary school concert, we hear the recorder, our stomach thinks chicken. We hear recorder, stomach chicken. Recorder, chicken, food, Grubhub, togetherness. Thank you. Part 3. Conclusion. In conclusion, I thought this commercial was pretty rad. I give it a 10 out of 10. Hidden genius and whatever. I liked it. Yeah. Check out my Elevator series. Or whatever.